Okay. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. So in today's presentation, so the contents are, it's about the plastic, briefing about the plastics, its chronology of the development, the advanced materials, the advanced processing techniques, and the scopes about the plastic industry and its related industries, and plastics industry mostly in the Indian scenario, about the entrepreneurship and the challenges, now what the industries are facing challenges, and the possible situation after the COVID-19. Then we have a session for the question and answer also. So actually this the plastics, the word itself is derived from the Greek plastokos, means which is fit for the molding. It is a string of monomers which is called as the polymers, and many plastics, that's why it starts with the poly. It's a Greek word like the P, PP, PMMA, that is polyethylene, polypropylene, polymethyl methacrylate. It's a unique class of wonder materials. Due to its superior performance and cost effectiveness, it overcomes the conventional materials like the wood, steel, glass, etc. Over the years, the applications, the spectrum of the plastics application has been widened with the new continuous generation of the new polymers, blends, and the composites depend upon its requirements according to the applications and the end user properties. The advantages of the plastics over the traditional materials, it's a totally corrosion resistant, chemical resistant, it's a flexibility in terms of change of the properties, change of the colorants, it's a lightweight, low coefficient of friction, leak proof joints, it's a sustainable material, and it's a cost effective, and the very easy to molding very complicated shapes. And the nylon, it's a very self lubricant plastic, that's why the most of the gears are now shifting over the nylon. It's a brief chronology. It has a very long history of the developments. The Egyptian royal tombs, which is used by the how the pot making is there, that is the concept which is developed, the injection molding concept. Then the different screws are developed, and in patent first time the phenol formaldehyde, it is patented in 1899. Then in 1916 the compression blow molding started. Then the DuPont has started its plant in 1925. Then injection molding is started in Germany in the year 1928, and it is recognized as a industry in 1926. Then later on, urea formaldehyde in 1928, the ABS, acrylobutadiene styrene, and the PS, polystyrene, which is vastly used nowadays. In 1936, then Society of Plastic Industry established in New York City in 1937, which has plays a very important role in the development of the plastic industry. 1942, the injection molded has been the patented one. Then the Teflon, that is polytetrafluoroethylene, it was introduced by DuPont in 1950. 55, the blow molding concept, which was introduced by a very famous German company, Kautex. Then expandable polystyrene, what we call it as the thermocol. It is basically a plastic expandable EPS. It is. It was started in 1963. Then
Hello. Excuse me, sir. It is not audible. Excuse me. Sorry to disturbance. Ishaq sir, it's not audible.
Ishaq sir, you are muted. Okay. Excuse me, Ishaq sir, your voice is not coming.
एक बार आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही थी जब दूसरी बार आप जब पीपीटी लगे थे पीपीटी में दिखा था आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही थी
वॉइस अब तक आया नहीं
अरे इनिशियली आई थी वॉइस बट अभी पीपीटी कैसे देखिए बीच में फिर आप अपलोड करें ना
हाँ ओके
जब तो उसके बाद से वॉइस नहीं आई अभी आप स्टार्ट करिए सर
ओके
हेलो अनम्यूट करिए अनम्यूट करिए जब मैं
ठीक
अनम्यूट करके स्टार्ट करिए
okay hello my voice is coming now
Yes, it is audible, sir.
okay good so in India after the Second World War the plastic industry has developed very fast now at present I have the report about from the Flex Council that it's a plastic council so the total export of plastic products is the US 7.64 billion and now it may be crossed about 9 billion. Domestic consumption is expected to touch about 20 million metric ton with this year's, and we have about 2,000 exporters of plastics, and the plastic industry in India is employing about 9.5 million people, 30,000 processing industries in which 80 to 85% are small to medium-sized units. So the spectrum of the plastic industries are, they are the exports of the raw materials, extruded products, especially the polyester films, molded injection molding articles, blow molding articles, sanitary fittings, electrical accessories, mobiles, automobiles, a big sector, sports, laboratory, medical sector, surgical sector, even the fish nets, PVC sheeting and agriculture and much more. It offers excellent potential and strength in terms of the availability of the raw materials, huge infrastructure, skilled manpower, and the presence of the research institute run by the central government, that is the Central Institute of Plastics Engineering and Technology, which are doing the research activities and preparing the manpower in order to cater the plastic industries in all over the world, playing significant role in economic development of the country and for the well-being and the improvement of the standard of the citizens. The significant growth rate is about 60% annual growth is there. Every day newer and newer applications are coming and the new sectors are opening. Automobile consumption of the plastics are improving. Agriculture sector is also there. In the aerospace, construction industry, infrastructure, communication industry, IT industry, medical and biomedical engineering, and a vast sector in the packaging industries. This in turn necessitates the need for different types of processing methods. So that's why research is going on and continuous improving in the processing techniques, continuous advancement in the processing methods, and creation of the various materials by using the blending and the composition of the various materials in order to cater the required properties and make it cost effective. And different machineries are advancing to produce quality products at affordable cost. Processing methods and machineries are available to manufacture plastic products with very stringent quality, very tight dimensional tolerance limits, and a cost to performance balance is very much necessary in order to compete in the competitive market. So this chart shows the total industry sector which is covers the plastics, that is the resin supply is plastic raw material. The suppliers, there are various materials, various families are there. Acrylics are families, polyester is the family, ethylene is a family, styrene is a family, and some engineering plastics are there. Then in the machinery suppliers, extruders, injection molding machine, blow molding, compression molding, thermoforming machines, mold tool rooms are there. Auxiliary equipments like for the cooling, for the compressors, chillers, compressors, and the various softwares required. Plotters are there, and the process control equipment is also there. In the software sector, some databases are there, and the process simulation techniques like the mold flow, ProE. Later on, the compounders and additives. The additives are used in order to enhance the properties of the materials to make it suitable for that particular end use. Then the decoration of plastics like the hot stamping are there, printing is there. So agriculture sector, the final end use are the agriculture sector, appliances, transportation, building construction, computers, telecommunication, medical care, furniture, industrial machinery, fast food packaging, recreation toys, ropes, textile industry. All the polyester is gone for the recycle to the textile industries. Basically, the plastics are classified in two sectors, thermoplastics and thermosets. Thermoplastics are the plastics, in easy words, which can be recyclable. It is a lightly cross-linked, gets softened upon heat and again hardened when cooled. It's a recyclable plastic. The examples are HDP, it is high density polyethylene, low density polyethylene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene, polypropylene, nylon, acrylobutadiene styrene, and polyethylene terephthalate. Thermosets is a heavy cross-link. One set is ever set. It's like a boiled egg. Non-recyclable, it's epoxy resins. So epoxy resins is a glass reinforced carbon fiber.
Sir, your voice is not coming, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Now it is audible.
Okay. Okay. I think some disturbance is coming. Then the advantages of plastics are light in weight, its density is very low, and even the lowest density plastic, it is the polypropylene, is about 0.89. Chemically resistant, can easily shape, durable, easy to change the color. Thermally, it's used as an insulating material also, and electrically insulating is also a big sector for its consumption. World per capital consumption, we are very far away, and as per the chances of the plastic industries are much compared with the developed countries. See, India is where, and the per capita consumption in the USA is about 68 kgs. We have this much opportunity for the development. This is the plastic consumption in India by application. The major sector is the agriculture sector. Then it goes to the houseware items, the daily what the items we are using, right from a plates to the glass and mugs, buckets and all those things. Furniture is transportation sector, electronics, all the electronic items. It is now shifting to the plastics with different plastic materials in order to cater the properties required. Buildings, so polyvinyl chloride is a self fire extinguishing plastic. So that's why in the construction industry, it's widely used as a conduit. Packaging is a big sector. About 24% of the total consumption goes to the packaging. It's a materials. The highest consumption is about 30% of the polyethylene. Then the polypropylene, the ABS, it is engineering plastics, styrenes, PVC is there 17%, nylon is about 1%, thermoplastic, polyester is about 5%. This is the polyethylene terephthalate, PET, and PBT, and the thermosets, the urea formaldehyde, etc. Now, in the engineering plastics like the polycarbonate consumption, the optical media for the you know the CDs they are making with this material. Automotive sector about 12% is a big consumption there. Electrical and electronics, houseware projects, appliances, packaging, medical sector, construction industry is about 17%, and the recreation, consumer, sports, they are consuming about the material engineering plastics about 4%. The major links of the plastic industry is the raw material manufacturers, additives Additives is added to the basic plastic material in order to improve the properties of that material, to make it economical, and it should fix to the end user requirements. So machinery manufacturers, technology providers, R&D sector, and again the CPETs a big role they are playing. Processors, they have the quality management system and good manufacturing practices. Standardization bodies, testing and certifying agencies, and the end users. End of life management system is the when the product completes its life, the management, the recycling process, it starts. This is the different links of the plastic industries. So it's a very big spectrum connected with the plastic industries. Basically the primary processing machinery is extrusion blow molding, stretch blow molding, multi-layer blow molding, blown film plants, multi-layer blown film, pipe and pipe, profile extrusion plants, cast film and sheet, compounding, wire and cable coating, tape extrusion. I will give a brief idea of this processing machinery and its users. Injection molding, it has the multi-component, means two colors in single component. If you see the now the automobile in the dashboards, the lighting arrangement,
Hello, sir. Excuse me. Sorry to disturbance. Sir, again you are not audible. Sir, sir. Sir, you're not audible.
Just 1 minute. Excuse us. I think there is some technical problem is there. We just will try to sort out those things. Just give me 2 minutes.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Okay. Sorry. So this where we are.
The next slide, sir.
Yeah.
One more slide. One more.
Now this the auxiliary things like the software CAD/CAM, Pro E, Mode Flow. This the compressor. This already I have covered. Heat exchanger. This is the about the tool room and mold industry, which makes the molds and dies. It's a very big sector is there and very technically sound sector is there. And then the processing is the conversion of the basic, the granular form, and in the thermoplastics, it is in the powder form to get the particular shape by using the various molds. Thermoforming is the process to heat and to form it. Then the one more thing in the advancement is the production of the CN film, that is Cro-Magnon film, which is used for the photography. The Kodak has developed this thing and they are using it. Acrylic sheets are there now in the construction industry. In the high-rise buildings, it is used as a instead of the gas, they are now transferring to the acrylic sheets. Process selection, it is depend upon the practical approach is the its end use, and the engineering approach is about the requirements in terms of the properties required. Process short is there. The technology is still it is in the manual form, semi-automatic and the fully automatic, depends upon the volume required, and it has to be decided. The plastic processing, it's totally starts with the customer requirement, material purchasing, then granules to be converted into the injection molding setup. And in the industries where a single product it used in a volume, it is totally controlled by a computer aided manufacturing CAM. Data center is there, and that data it feeds directly to the all the machines, and there the quality control is also controlled by the different quality parameters which is already set in the data center. It's the basic thing which we have to understand for any plastic processing is the extruder operation. In the extrusion, the blown film is there, pipe profile is there, and in the blow molding, that is the continuous feeding of the raw material through the hopper to the, it goes to the screw, and the heaters are there. The red which you are seeing on the screen, it is the heaters. It heats the material to make it soften. Then the die, through the die, it extrude, and it gives the outer shape as per the shape of the die. It's a blow molding. If you see these, the big barrels are there, and the oil industries, the lubrication oil, these all the bottles, this is produced by the continuous extrusion blow molding. Another thing in the blow molding is the injection stretch blow molding, that is the PET, the clear plastic, polyethylene terephthalate, all the packaging which is in the jars, different jars are there, that is made by the blow molding, but it is the injection stretch blow molding. So this is the two different maximum usable blow molding process. First is the extrusion blow molding, where this material is extruded from the die. It is a continuous extrusion. A parison, a tube like will come, then it goes to the mold, or sometimes it die. It is compressed air blown to give the shape of the counter. It is the ejection process. Here in the stretch blow molding, by using the injection molding, the preform is there. It's a tubular form. Then it goes heated. It goes into the mold. Then the blowing is there. Here it is the blowing is there, and it forms. And last process is the ejection is there. This is the application of the blow molding process. This is the HDP blow molded, and here is the stretch blow molding. All are the mostly the clear plastics, right from the water bottles to the Pepsi and all those things are the, it's a PET one. Injection molding, it is a widely used. So as the time is running away, so I will go a little bit fast. So injection molding is a highly automation process. This is the process of injection molding machine. So here, this is the two platens there. One is stationary, one is movable. When the material is feed from the extruder, this is the mold, it forms and it opens automatically and the material fall down. These are the different examples of the injection molding process. Rotational molding, if you see in our houses, the overhead tanks, it was made by the process, it is called the rotational molding. Here it is the rotational molding process. There the material which is in the powdery form, it rotates inside the mold in a different axes so that it is fused away and form the counter of the dies which gives the overhead tanks shapes. Thermoforming, all the disposable items like the plates and the glasses, the disposable glasses, disposable plates, disposable bowls, this was made by using the thermoforming process. This is the process machine. The sheet will be extruded from here. The die is there and it is the die is heated one and forming by the pressure. It's all the films like what we are using the plastic bags on all these things. This is made by the blown film plant. A complete roll will make here with the blown film plant. Then it is goes to the cutting machine where the various sizing will carried out. The advancement is there due to the present requirements, especially if you see the edible oils. It is that almost 4 to 5 layers film is there in order to make it puncture resistance. So this here you can see the how much extruders are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is the total 6-layer film is there. Though it looks like a single, but it is 6-layer films. If you see in the cross section here, there are the different layers are there. Only the top layer which shows the polyethylene, other is with respect to the requirements of the properties required to the end product, different layers are made. It's a pipe extrusion process. What we are seeing, all the pipe process mostly used in the transfer of the water, it was made by using the pipe extrusion plant. In the medical sector, it is now annual growth is about 7%. Some sensor to monitor the brain, sensors are making with the plastic, implantable elastomers for the shaping is the for the cancer patients, stretchable films to monitor the cancer patients. Hybrid polymers are generated for in order, it has the property for the contracting and the expanding one. Sponge like polymer for the spinal injuries. Combination of plastics and engineering will make a very big revolution, and these are some examples of it. The sophisticated technologies in the plastic, the solar cells, now it is replacing the silicon based, the electronic radio frequencies and the electricity conducting plastics, printing silicon on the plastic, which is widely used in the electronic industries. Plastics magnets, they are used for the very high speed railways, and the nanoplastics is a big sector. The challenges, major challenges of this sector is the skilled manpower development is a major. Important sector. Mold design, mold making, because how the perfect mold is, the end product will be, it replicates it. Testing facilities in order to maintain the quality of the product, certification for the export of plastic products, technical consultancy services, and the most important, and the government is very much concerned about, is about the management of the waste. Negative environmental image of the plastic industries, that was a hype for the plastic industries and a big threat for the plastic industries. In the advancement of the recycling process, the chemical recycling, it is a process in which the polymer is chemically reduced to its original monomer and repolarization is made and a new plastic material is made. So this is to overcome the traditional limitations of the recycling. The limitations in the recycling of the process is the identification of the different plastics. Different plastics have different properties, so identification for the segregation is very important. So blends and composites are there, so it is not easy to identify without any chemical test. Limited number of properties are deteriorating. As soon as the recycle is there, the mechanical properties are deteriorating. Effects and changes in properties, and Mobius loop segregation means if you see any product of the plastic, on the back side you will find a Mobius loop which indicates some number that indicates which material it is. So the maintenance of these are the different Mobius symbols. PET is there, 1, 2, 3, 4. This you will find on the back side of the product, and that is the government regulations. So bioplastic is an alternative is there. See how they are using the starches and the sugar. From there, it is trying to convert into resin, and the soya-based resins is also in the research sector. In India, it's a very good growth. The 9% leading growth. India's 15% per annum is expecting in the GDP. 20% contributed by the top players. And mostly the very important thing for the entrepreneurs is the very good opportunity for the small scale industries in the plastic sector. Only in the Gujarat itself, about 65 to 70% plastic industries exist. Automobile only requires 155 pounds. It's about 76 kgs of plastics per car. Currently employed about 9 million people, and the increasing ratio is very exponentially. So in order to generate the employment is also a very best sector. Plastic industry emerged as a giant in the industry scenario of industry. Government policies are encouraging, and the plastic cities, even in our Telangana, in the Mankal, the government has given a complete plastic city in the Mankal area. So Make in India, the new government Make in India is also a very encouraging policies for the plastics. These are some very world biggest expos. The biggest expo is in the Germany, that is K-Fair, our Plast India, China Fair, Taipei. These Arab Plast, these are the very big shows. This is a CPET. It is completely for the development of the plastic. It was established by the government of India in 1968. It's academics is there, consultancy is there, research is there, and now they are starting their institutes all over the India. And in the academic sector, up to the doctorate, you can do the research and placement through the campus for all the students. 90% placement is must from this institute. Plastic is sustainable. There are some very devil's thoughts. It's a hype is there that plastic is a devil's material. Plastic is bad for the environment. Plastic causes cancer. Plastic kills the turtle. Plastic shot my dog. It's all the jokes. See, the basic thing is the attacks on the plastic industry are based primarily on perception, not on the fact. Plastic industry does not throw those bags into the ocean or on the roads. It is the people, it is the end user who are doing this. If those bags have been recycled, you will not see this picture in the India or anywhere. If you see in the developed countries, they have the segregated dustbins, all those things, and the people will throw on that particular area. It is the people, it is the end user who are unnecessary developing the, which makes the problem for the plastic industry. These are the some comparison for the with respect to the paper. Plastic bags consume only 80% of the energy to make, while in compared to the paper bags. Plastic bags use only 3% of the fresh water required. Plastic produce 80% less waste than the paper bags. It takes 91% less energy to recycle. The challenges we have the 4 R's, that is to reduce, to reuse, to recycle, and landfill and burning. So this will again create an environmental problem. So it is not good. But the best is to reduce it or else reuse it. To become an entrepreneur, the difficulties is we have to work hard. It means we have to lose the friends, lose sleep, feel uncomfortable. Probably at the time comes when we broke. So we have that much of commitment to stand up again. We have to think and dream big and be confident. Stick your goal to become a successful engineer. I am giving the presentation to most of the academicians are there. So they have to transfer these things to the new students who want to become the entrepreneur. So how to become an entrepreneur? Successful businessmen are formed by people who share a number of important characteristics. Personality, have a capacity to work, including a willingness to put in long hours. We know the people who have spent daily about 18 to 20 hours in the industries. Be goal oriented, be a self-started, who doesn't need to be pushed. The entrepreneur should be a guy with the arrows on the back. They don't have anything to look back. Have a good judgment, be confident, but not egoistic. Be honest, be persistent, be a problem solver. Every problem have a new challenge and a new opportunity. So the entrepreneur has to see the opportunities, have the capacity to take risk, be with the people and profit oriented, have flexibility, adaptability and accountability, have a desire to win and be innovative, a knowledgeable leader, plan for the future and a strong commitment to succeed. So self-confidence, cash flow management, these are the challenges for the new entrepreneurs. If you overcome it, we will become a very successful entrepreneur. Self-confidence, cash flow management strategies, marketing strategies, effective utilization of capital to face the criticism and overcome the self-doubts, customer identification, pricing in the competitive market, building a successful team in order to take the team for a long run, marketing strategies, manpower and market fluctuation issues to overcome. The last slide is about the post-COVID scenario for an entrepreneur. Now the world is changing now, and it has to change. It is a game changer. New world altogether change. We have to be very adaptable and creative, very good decision maker. We have to play a key role in it. The workplace is changed. So that communication styles has changed. Work from home concept, team collaboration, data security, these are the sectors where we have to work out. Work from a home trend will continue to cut down the expenses. Even after the COVID, most of the work, people to cut down their operation expenses, maybe they will ask to work from the home. Education industry is changed, digital education, pre-recorded videos, animation, education platform, entertainment industry develop some platforms for the various entertainment activities like the Amazon Prime and Netflix. Hygiene product industry and hospitality. This is also a very big sector now after COVID to development the brand of the hygiene products, good services for the food and the related products. So packaging industry for the food industry is also a very good opportunity. And another good one is due to the present scenario with the Chinese products are mostly the importing is banned. So we have to replace those products by using a small industry concepts. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please go.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful lecture on plastic processing. I think really participants will learn about different types of plastic, because as a researcher, as a academician, we know plastic is a plastic. But I think in plastic, there is a lot of different types of plastics are there, and each plastic having different processes. So I think all these things you are explained it very well. But I think unfortunately because of this technical issues, maybe in between some issues has come, some stoppages happened. But orally it was very wonderful lecture. So just I asked one question, sir, from behalf of faculty. Nowadays, everybody looking plastic is a negative way. I already you touch upon your slides, but I want to emphasize more on this. So people still really look plastic as a harmful, plastic is a dangerous. So I want you again, already you told in your slides, but I'll request once again to please emphasize on that, so that people who want to start their own entrepreneurship and want to enter in the plastic research as well as plastic industry, so that they can understand what exactly plastic, whether it's really harmful or it's only myth. So please focus on this, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, due to the time constraint, I am a little bit fast for that slide. So the problem with the myth is there. Plastics, not all plastics are dangerous. Okay, PVC, it has the vinyl chloride. So that during the processing also, and if it burns also, it may release the chlorine. So, but for the food packaging, all the material, it must be approved by the FDA. That is, for the food packaging, it must be approved by the FDA. So it is not at all have any problem in the usage. The problem is with the end user who is not properly disposing it. That's why the problem arises is the animals, when it eats the plastic, it is not digestible. Another thing is when it goes to the drains, it is clogging the drains. So that is the main problem. Technically and the medically, there is nothing which is affects on the health of any product. Like the polyethylene tablet, water bottle, mostly the water bottles is made in the polyethylene tablet. If you keep that bottle with water in the extreme hot condition, for an example, if you kept it in the car in the hot condition and all the glasses are closed, and for a long time, it releases some smell in it. It changes the smell of the water, but it not affects on the health of the end user. So that is due to the heating of the plastic above its softening temperature. So it changed the smell of the product. But it not affects on the any health of the end user. So this is the thing. Another thing is most of the materials, if it is not properly maintained as per the directions given by the storing temperatures, is its shelf life. That is more important. The problem arises on that. Even in the cancer related patients, the plastics are used for the treatment, for monitoring, for the equipments. So this is just a myth. But where the problem arises is in the disposal. Right now, I will give you the practical problem which the plastic industries are facing and very much worried about it. The government, why they are warning is, so the virgin material, the plastic raw material manufacturers, if they are making 100 million metric tons per annum, and which goes into the market for the processors, it is converting into the products. But the recycling sector, it is disorganized sector. About 70 to 80% are disorganized. They are recycling it, but it is not reporting to the government. So what the government is telling that this 100 metric ton material goes to the market, but the recycled material is only about the 30. So where 70%? 70% is on the roads. So this is the practical problems which the plastic industries are facing. So now even in the Plastic Manufacturers Association, they are enforcing to the disorganized sector. That's why recently the government, they have given the order before, but with the court's directives, all the small industries which is not registered and which is a tiny industries and they don't have any norms are there. So government is forcefully they are closing in this Tata Nagar area. So this is the practical problems. As such, there is no problem in using the plastic. And in the developed countries, the USA, 68 kgs per annum a single man is using, and we are in the 16 kgs right now.
Okay.
I hope it's clear.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, what I understand, plastic is very good material. It is not making any harm, but we people who is not handling plastic or not disposing plastic properly, we are harming the environment. Is it correct, sir?
Yes, yes.
So as a persons, we need to be very careful because I visited number of countries. So everywhere I have seen that there is a separate kind of disposal mechanism is there for especially for plastics.
Yeah.
But in our India, especially for metro cities, maybe we have. But domestic other areas, if you go, we don't have proper disposal system for any scrap, not only plastic, even any scrap. Because of that, I think what we are facing problem in India. So one more question I need to ask, sir. You are a very good successful entrepreneur. You started your own company a few years back, and you are running a company successfully. And also, we have seen that during COVID-19 time, also at least you are surviving. So, can you give some suggestions to our students as well as especially our faculties so that they can guide the students to start their own entrepreneur? So already I've seen you put very good slides and challenges coming in entrepreneur, but still again if you focus on that again as an entrepreneur, how students can start their own entrepreneurship and how they can approach for a new product or new service, Please put a light on that, sir, once again.
Okay, thank you. Actually, in my slide also I have emphasized with the academicians to get trained the students the importance of the entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurs are the only people who are playing very major role in the GDP of our country. So being an entrepreneur is a challenge one. So you have to make first the mindset of our students, that what actually the entrepreneurship, what are the benefits of it, what are the challenges we have to face. And there are some government agencies, various agencies are there. They are organizing the seminars in order to transfer the knowledge with the experts in the particular fields. So we have to link up with those institutes like the medium scale industries there in the Balanagar is there. Another thing is the CITD and the CPET, they will also make very short-term courses. In that short-term courses, they will give some projects which are very easy to start. And another thing is in the post-COVID scenario, now the job sector is almost nil. In the present scenario, in the most of the economists, they are telling that the jobs what we have now, if we keep it safe for another year, then only we will successful. So the creation of the new jobs are very, 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 very difficult. So it's a high time to feed the students to become the entrepreneur by starting with a very small unit, as a tiny unit. So in the first phase, ask them to take the training or at least work with a industry for a period with a vision to become an entrepreneur. So first thing is they have to understand their own interest and create the products. Right now, your college students, which I know is, they are the people who have developed the face shields in this pandemic situation. They have designed on the this face shield which you see in the market now with a nylon holder and the PMMA sheet. That is developed by our students. They have contact with through the mail with the KTR. KTR has given all the facilities. They have arranged some material from the Chennai in the lockdown situation and successfully it launched, and now it is in the market. So this type of things, what the requirement, that is more important. The first thing is you please make the mind of the students to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I think now it is the requirement is there, especially post COVID-19. We need to train our students not only for academics, for research, and for the jobs. We need to train our students for creating the jobs. So as I think in an inauguration session, our chief guest, director NIT Jamshedpur also mentioned. Now students who is passing out from the colleges, they need to be a job creators, not a job seekers. So the main intention of this FDP program also same thing. So whatever the research we are doing, whatever the academic things we are doing, so in that we need to encourage our students to make their own entrepreneurship. So maybe that is small or bigger, whether it is a micro industry or small industry or medium industry, whether it is a product based or service based. So that is the main intention of this this FDP program. And I'm very much happy that you shared about especially plastics and plastic processing. I hope this plastic processing is comparatively if other processing, I think this is relatively economical, and even with a small amount of investment, our students can start their own manufacturing plants, I hope. Is it yes, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Mohit to just take the questions of participant and ask our
Okay, sir.
speaker. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir, maximum our HOD has asked the questions of the participants. One more question from the participant. What about the temperature allowed in extruder operation?
It depends upon the material. Different materials have the different processing temperature range. depends upon that requirements. But it can resist up to the 262 to 280 degrees centigrade.
Okay, sir. So one more question.
See, the basic concept is the end user. Suppose you have to use this at 100 degrees centigrade. So it has to be made to keep it resist double of it. 200 degrees centigrade, the product has to be resist. It is in the design sector.
Yes, sir. So one more question is, how much the investment is required in this field to start the industry?
Investment, it depends upon your selection of the field. If you go for the design sector for the Pro E like this or mold design, softwares are there. If you want to become a processor, it requires the machinery and its related accessories. So depend upon your selection of the field, whether you want as a processor, you want to be a designer, or you want to become a analyzing mold analysis like this. So depend upon your field of work and which sector you want to prefer. So if you go for injection molding machine, if you take a single machine, it depends upon the product. Right from the 30-ton machine, it raises to about 6,500, 6,800 tons machines. It all depends upon our selection of the product, what you want to make.
Yeah, Mohit, go for next question.
Glasses and lenses.
It's an injection molding process. It's an automatic injection molding process.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, sir. I would like thankful from bottom of my heart to Engineer Mohammad Isa for this session.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity also. Thank you.
For sharing his knowledge and experience on processing and recycling of advanced plastic and giving the knowledge about the Indian industry of the plastic, advantages of the plastic, major links of plastic industries and processing machines and processing of plastic also. Injection, and he is given the information about the injection molding, rotational molding, thermoforming, and the personality of the entrepreneurs. So I would also like thankful to our HOD and the participant for attending for this session.